TOS Television, your digital-first Pan-African news network. I am Abigail Okwade, and this is Africa Now. Libya's eastern strongman Khalifa Haftar has taken advantage of a new controversial law that says he will step down from his military role for 3 months, a step that may enable him to run in a presidential election due to take place in December. The law, which was ratified by an ally of General Haftar and has been rejected by his opponents, says officials must relinquish their post in order to stand in the elections, but it guarantees that they can return to their old positions if they lose. In a statement on Wednesday, Haftar said he had named an interim replacement as head of the self-proclaimed Libyan National Army. Sudanese authorities have taken control of lucrative assets that for years provided backing for Hamas, shedding light on how the country served as a haven for the Palestinian militant group under former leader Omar al-Bashir. Hamas' investment in Sudan began with small-scale ventures such as fast food restaurants before venturing into real estate and construction, according to an official on the task force. According to officials from the task force set up to dismantle the Bashir regime, the assets include real estate company shares, a hotel in a prime Khartoum location, an exchange bureau, a TV station, and more than 1 million acres of farmlands. Tunisia's President Kais Saied declared on Wednesday he will rule by decree and ignore parts of the constitution as he prepares to change the political system, and he issued an order to extend the suspension of parliament, prompting immediate opposition from rivals. Saied has held nearly total power since July 25th, when he sacked the prime minister, suspended the parliament, and assumed executive authority, citing national emergency in a move his foes called a coup. Saied has denied having dictatorial aspirations, insists his moves are constitutional, and has vowed to uphold the rights of Tunisians. Algeria's Supreme Security Council decided on Wednesday to close the country's airspace to all Moroccan civil and military aircraft, the Algerian presidency said, less than a month after it cut diplomatic relations with the kingdom. The presidency, in a statement, said the move was announced in view of the continued provocations and hostile practice on the Moroccan side. This comes less than a month after Algeria cut diplomatic relations with Morocco, citing hostile actions from the kingdom and blaming the country for devastating wildfires, mainly in Kabylie, that killed at least 65 people. And now to health matters. More than 30 people have died because health workers' strike in Guinea-Bissau has paralyzed the healthcare system, a spokesperson for the nurses union said on Wednesday. The boycott over working conditions, pay, and other issues was launched on Monday in the small West African nation, where chronically under-equipped hospitals and clinics have long angered workers and endangered patients. Most medical clinics lack electricity or water supply, salaries are low, and maternal mortality rates are among the worst in the world, according to a 2017 UN Human Rights report that called for comprehensive reform. This is your digital-first Pan-African news network, TOS Television. You are watching Africa Now, business stories and more coming your way after the break. To stay tuned. Welcome back. In business. To secure a lending program to help Zambia emerge from a debt crisis, the Southern African country's nation's president will meet officials of the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank in Washington, his spokesman said on Wednesday. President Hakainde Hichilema's spokesman Anthony Bolia, in a statement issued from New York, did not say when the meetings would take place. In November, Zambia failed to keep up with payments on nearly $13 billion of international debt, becoming the first African country to default on its sovereign debt during the COVID-19 pandemic. And away from business to South Africa. Former South African President Jacob Zuma's corruption trial for $2 billion government arms deal has been postponed to October 26, the presiding judge said on Wednesday. Judge Piet Cohen said he would try to have the lead prosecutor on Zuma's plea, Billy Downer, removed from a case he has been involved in for almost 2 decades because of perception that Downer was biased and not impartial. Due to legal arguments and Zuma's unavailability, the trial over a 1990s deal that was meant to start in May has been postponed a number of times. Still in South Africa's cabinet has adopted a more ambitious emissions reduction target ahead of a United Nations climate conference in November, the country's Environment Department said on Wednesday. Africa's biggest emitter of greenhouse gases now aims to keep emissions to a range of 350 to 420 million tons, that is 30% of carbon dioxide equivalent by 2030. That compares with an earlier draft target of 398 to 440 million tons announced by the Environment Department in March. A new guild of artists from Nigeria's Benin City has offered to donate artworks to the British Museum in London as a way to encourage it to return the priceless Benin bronzes that were looted from the city's royal court by British troops in 1897. The Ahamwen Guild of Artists and Bronze Casters said it wants to change the terms of the debate by giving the British Museum contemporary artworks untainted by any history of looting that showcase Benin City's modern-day culture. The British Museum, which houses the largest and most significant collection of the items, has stopped short of making a clear commitment to returning the bronzes back to Nigeria. And on the entertainment scene, for the first time in 30 years, Somalia hosted its first public film screening under heavy security, raising hopes of a cultural revival in the turbulent country. This took place on Wednesday at the National Theatre of Somalia in the capital Mogadishu, which was used as a military base during the civil war when cinema-going ceased. Filmgoers enjoyed two short movies by the Somali director Ibrahim CM, with tickets going for $10 each. And that is Africa Now. For more updates, to visit our website at www.costvnetwork.com. Follow us and like our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And remember to subscribe on YouTube. To stay with us and enjoy more programs on TOS Television Network. I am Abigail Okwade. Thanks for watching.